Bonjour tout le monde. So I just wanted to go through your November assessment and, make sure you're on the right track with your study and all that kind of stuff. So your first thing is the reading comprehensions and, you can't really study for those. You just have to have, like a wide range of vocab, and practice makes perfect. So we've a couple of them done in the exam papers already. So I said what's going to be on the November assessment is a mix of some we've done in class. So it's very important that you're, focused in class and taking in everything and for your homework. And then some of them will be ones that we haven't looked at yet, just to see how you're handling the ones on your own. So yeah, that's the first thing. It's basically, if you did want to study for them, take out that vocab booklet and just start learning as much vocab as possible. So if the questions are in English, you answer in English. If the questions are in French, you answer in French. It's mainly answering in English. I don't know if you guys have noticed that yet, but yeah, it's mainly answering in English. Then you have your 3 paragraphs. So you already did a test for me on 2 of these paragraphs. So if you did well in that, super, you've only 1 more to kind of study for. So the notes I gave you there on Friday, I didn't actually have, the sample paragraphs there because I've already given them to you. But I said, it might be nice for you to just have everything on the one sheet. So when you're studying, you're like, oh, it's just like these 2-3 sheets that I have to worry about having everything together. So I go through those 3 paragraphs, and then you have your blog, which I'm telling you exactly the question that's coming up. Some people have been messaging me asking me, is it going to be Bordeaux? And it absolutely is. So this is really what you want to be learning off me, these paragraphs and these few pages here. I don't know, what is it, like 4 pages? It's not that much really, especially considering you have 2 of the pages kind of already done. So yeah, the paragraph. So the first thing is these little short questions. So you know yourself, they're worth 2 marks each, and you learn little things from your last test. Like some people left out the so don't do that this time. And then pays de naissance is country of birth. Don't not know that this time. So it's Ireland. Make sure you spell that correctly. It's nearly like English. English has an E here, but instead we have the E here at the end. Also, don't forget the year. So just make sure you're cool with that, and you're going to get the full marks there. Right, so your first paragraph, and someone actually messaged me to do up a sample answer for this. So none of you would have seen it. Well, you've probably seen it like first, second year and that, but it won't be anything new to you. But yeah, what I'm saying with the paragraphs is this is a sample. Some of you might be like, yep, that's grand. I'm going to learn that whole thing off. No problem. Then other people might be like, oh, do you know what? I find that very hard to learn off. I need to shorten things or change words to more Englishly looking words, or words that you kind of know. Like, for example, here I'm saying, like, my mom is kind and hardworking. So if you know those words, gentille et travailleuse, work away, use them. Or if there's something simpler you think you can use, then go for that. So like sportif, a lot of people would know sportif is sporty, so you could go with that, or bavard. The next thing I say is elle est infirmière, she is a nurse. So if you want to pick something simpler, like elle est professeur, she's a teacher, or whatever it is, obviously it doesn't have to be the truth at all. You just pick whatever suits you to learn, really. So that's what I was saying, when you're doing your prep and that, you need to look at what I give you, you need to analyse it, and you need to be like, right, what version of this am I going to learn? Anyway, I'll just go to the sample answer I've given you. So, il y a 5 personnes dans ma famille. Ma mère, mon père, mon frère, ma sœur, et moi. So there's 5 people in my family: my mother, my father, my brother, my sister, and me. So if there's any extra words you don't know, like stepmother, stepfather, stepbrother, stepsister, just message me and I'll let you know. Okay, then I focused in just one family member. You can write about them all if you want, or you can focus in on 2 or whatever you think. But ma mère s'appelle Marie. So if we want to pick my dad, you just change that to mon père s'appelle whatever. Et elle a 48 ans, and she's 48 years old. So I just said her name, age, then I went on to her personality. Elle est gentille et travailleuse, so she's kind and hardworking. Elle est infirmière, she's a nurse. Elle travaille à Dublin, she works in Dublin. Je m'entends bien avec ma famille. Okay, I get on well with my family. Je les adore, I love them. So I'd put a little star beside that one. That's one of our really good sentences. Just the je les adore is great. Then I said, je me dispute, so to have a dispute, like I fight. Parfois avec mon frère, I sometimes fight with my brother. You can leave out the word sometimes if you want and just say, je me dispute avec mon frère. Il m'énerve, he annoys me. J'ai des bons rapports avec ma sœur. I have good relations with my sister. Nous avons le même goût. So I have a good relationship with my sister. We have the same taste. Then I added in an extra sentence there and I just said, je suis l'aîné or le cadet. Don't write down both of them. Sometimes when I give students like a sample answer, they write down, I am the eldest, youngest of the family. And I'm like, well, which one is it? You haven't picked out one of them for me. So l'aîné is the eldest and le cadet is the youngest. And I presume, like, if you want to say your brother, your sister, whatever, you'd say, mon frère John est l'aîné de la famille. My brother John is the eldest. Ma sœur Amy est l'aînée. My sister Amy is the eldest. So that you can chop and change that yourself. So yeah, that's your first paragraph. Second one we already did was qu'est-ce que tu aimes manger? So what do you like to eat? So ma nourriture préférée est les frites et le chocolat. Or, as I said, chop and change these things. My favorite food is, if you just want to say chocolate and leave out the frite. So you look down to it and you're like, right, some of these words are like English. Maybe I could use those like carrots and cereal and start with those first. And then be like, right, can I add in some ones that are more like unusual? Then, there's keywords like if you had le petit déjeuner, this is like what I was doing on the board on Friday. So breakfast, lunch, where's lunch? I don't have lunch added in here. Strange, Do I? Oh yeah, here it is. I did lunch, dinner. No, I did breakfast, dinner, lunch. It makes no sense, but anyway. So yeah, le petit déjeuner is breakfast. Then we have le dîner, then le déjeuner. So those three words are very, very simple. So le petit déjeuner, breakfast. Le déjeuner, lunch. So you're just leaving out that word. And le dîner is just like dinner. So you need je mange, I eat. And maybe j'aime, I like. So if you have those two verbs, you can say a lot. So for breakfast, I eat. Pick out whatever the easiest Englishy looking ones. For dinner, I like to eat. Then for lunch, I eat. Yeah, so some of you, as I said, will learn off all of that and be no bother to you and it'll be all okay. Then others might want to, highlight certain bits and pick and choose what they want to say. Then we have quelle est ta matière préférée? There's your sample answer there with the English behind them as well. Then you have your email. So I would write this down. The minute you go into your November assessment, write that down so you can't go wrong with your tenses. And then that is exactly what's coming up, okay, about Bordeaux. And there's your sample answer again. I don't actually have the English there, but if you copy and paste that and put it into Google Translate, it'll do it for you. Wait, do I have the English? I have the English for some parts, but not other parts. But yeah, if you're confused with any of it, just let me know. And once again, you can chop and change this and shorten it to suit however much you want to learn. And yeah, that is the whole exam paper. So it's pretty much like the actual Junior Cert. I'm just missing one page with 5 grammar questions and then the listening. But if you do well on this test, it's a good show of kind of what you might be getting for the actual Junior Cert. And we've loads of time left to kind of perfect these things. So yeah, Sinead.